Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm joined now by my good friend Eric Hewitt from the Medicine Shop in Monona. Eric, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back, I should say.
Thank you.
So obviously we're heading into summer. Sun's getting warmer, weather's getting warmer, and we're going to be talking about protecting ourselves from the sun's harmful rays. Why is it so important to apply and also reapply sunscreen while working outside?
Yeah. Well, obviously the application process is important. I think it's widely known the dangers of skin cancer these days, and I think that's obviously the biggest thing, because it's not skin cancer where sometimes you just get a little mole removed or something like that. It can actually be a very deadly form of cancer with some of the melanomas. So that's obviously first and foremost of applying the sunscreen. And then reapplying is because it only protects you for so long. And the FDA has actually taken the ability for certain sunscreen manufacturers to put things on there like waterproof and sweatproof, because there is no such thing. They can say resistant, but if you're sweating profusely or go swimming or something like that, even if it has those terms on there, you really have to reapply to make sure that you stay covered and protected against the sun's rays.
Right. There's no way that 100% of it can stay on when you jump into the swimming pool.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So what are the best types of sunscreens that people should be looking for when they go to purchase a sunscreen this summer?
Most dermatologists are going to recommend at least an SPF of 30 or above. That gives pretty good coverage. And you want to look for things that say broad spectrum coverage, meaning there's two main types of UV rays that you get from sunlight, and that would be UVA and UVB rays. Those broad spectrums cover both of those types of rays. Okay, broad spectrum. So they're just different types of UV rays then? Correct, yep. And those broad spectrum, that's what that term means, is it's going to cover both. So. Now, I've noticed that some sunscreens have an expiration date on them. Yep. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Yeah, we usually recommend, number one, if you haven't opened it, definitely go by an expiration date if it's on there. If not, just like any medication, any cream, that kind of stuff starts to break down. The more it gets used, the more it gets exposed, it's going to break down over time and may not be quite as effective as it once was when it was originally put in the bottle. So if you've used it over the last year, I would say a year is a good kind of rule of thumb if you've opened up that bottle. If you haven't, definitely go by the expiration date on the bottle. Yes, yeah. So if you don't get out a lot, maybe don't buy a huge tub of sunscreen, because it won't be hardly any good in the following year. So, okay, that's good to know. Are there certain medications that can make people more sensitive to sunlight and to the sun, and why? Sure. There definitely are, and I don't know, maybe some people watching out there have had that, thing told to them when they come into the pharmacy to pick it up, and I know that we consult people all the time on it. So there are a few classes of medications that are kind of notorious for that, some being some antibiotics, specific classes of antibiotics, some water pills or diuretics that people are taking for blood pressure or swelling. Some chemo medications and things like that. So if your doctor or your pharmacist does mention that to you, you want to make sure that you pay attention to that. And the reason for that is that chemical that's in your body does react with the skin cells and cause kind of an inflammation when it gets exposed to sun, and causing a similar type of reaction to a severe sunburn and things like that. So whatever sunburn you might have gotten without taking that medication could just be that much worse. Greatly intensified, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Where can I get more information? Where can we find more information on this topic of sun sensitivity and whatnot? I always am going to advocate for the pharmacist, and I think that's a perfect way, especially if you're wondering about your medications. Please ask us questions. That's what we're there for, and that's what we're going to consult you for. So that's number one for me. It's always going to be number one when it comes to that kind of stuff. The other one is, online, the Academy of American Dermatologists and things like that. I mean, there are some good information on WebMD as well to those types of things if you have more questions about the specific sunscreen that you have and things like that. But those are really the best places, I think, to utilize those resources to get more information. You mentioned that most people or most doctors recommend a minimum of SPF 30, but I go to the store and I see SPF 15, sometimes even SPF 5. What is the purpose of some of these things? I mean, people get anything out of these? They can. They're just not going to last as long. Okay. So you might have to reapply more often to get that same level of sun protection that you would get from the higher SPFs. Sure. So it's just something you have to be more diligent, on applying and reapplying. Eric Hewitt from the Medicine Shop in Monona, thank you so much for joining us again today. Thanks for having me again. Don't go away. When we come back, there is more Talk of the Town coming up right after this. Stay tuned.